There is an integrity of the spirit. Within you, there is the capacity to look out at your world through your own state of consciousness and see it as good. You need to live in peace with yourself. And that's by Raymond Charles Barker. You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. That's by Eckhart Tolle. The only way to have peace is to teach peace. By teaching peace, you must learn it yourself, because you cannot teach what you dissociate, from A Course in Miracles. And lastly, peace is my choice. Peace is the world's choice. Peace is the answer, by Katia Thompson, religious science practitioner of the Center of Peace. And I found that way back. She wrote that. I saw it in an old program from 2013. I saved old programs from 2013 and 14 and 15 and 16. Anyway, I found that and I called her and asked her, because I definitely couldn't do that without her permission, and she was so excited. So, and she's listening. I know she's watching this, so anyway. All right, so our reading for today is taken from 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. That, as well as the affirmation, were submitted by our licensed professional practitioner, Marilyn Watkins. October 12th, page 286, I am poised and established in the one mind. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. From Isaiah 26th chapter, the 3rd verse. The assets of a spiritually minded person are his ability to remain untouched by the confusion of the world around him and to instigate a creative process which will bring order out of chaos. It may seem easier to exist in a panicky state of mind, telling all whom we meet how difficult life is, than to remain poised and say nothing at all. Yet, we are assured that there is a way of thinking wherein we can handle every situation with ease, stability, and poise by becoming still, and from a center within ourselves, find a peace which has never been disturbed. God in the midst of us is instantly available as peace, order, and harmony. All that is required is to turn within and think in his terms, his ideas. As we do this, the panic flees and order is born. We are already in the mind of God, which always operates in peaceful and perfect ways. And so it is. And I think the singer is up again. She's... It's a good thing I know who I am. Oh, wait, it's a good thing I know who we are. No. Okay. This is something else words I changed. It used to be called Who's Loving You by the Jackson 5. Spirit is the truth. It's all that I am and always here. And since I get ego out of the way, don't you know I stand my ground, hold my head up, never bound. I'm God's wonder, who's one with you. My life is God's life, so I am life, and can never, ever, I can never die. And now since I get it, my fears are all gone. Don't you know I stand my ground, hold my head up, never bound. I'm God's wonder, who's one with you. Life is all love, not separate or lonely. I won't think, no, won't think I can't make it. All my life is God's life, and all my love, yeah, it belongs with God only. And I'm gonna make my world, and I won't forsake it, because all life is true, and what I won't do is let it pass me by. It's true for you, and you. We're God's wonders, moving further ahead in all we do. So don't you know I stand my ground, 'cause I know now I've never been bound. I'm God's wonder, who's one with you. I know, yeah, that I'm one with, I am one with you. I am God's wonder. Please give our dual personality practitioner another round of applause. That was wonderful. Oh, so much joy and laughter and peace in this room. I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker today. I've known her for a good many years now. Deborah Ford is a founding member of the Center of Peace. She for 35 years worked in the field of science, pharmaceutical science. She's been a practitioner for 20 years, and she's a friend. What I have found about Deborah, and what you will find if you spend some time with her, is that Deborah is one of the few people I know who understands the nuances of science of mind. If you want to be smart about this teaching and you have a question, ask Deborah, because Deborah can run it past you. I mean, she can run it down for you and help you to understand in a way that's simple, in a way that you can feel, in a way that makes a difference in your life. So I am honored to present to you our own Deborah Ford for the message today.
Bring all my books here. Been sleeping with them for a week now. Oops. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. Wow. This is an experience. In my 20 years here, I have not been in this position. I've been sort of hiding, trying not to be here. But Reverend T has a way with her. You can't get away from her sometimes. It's hard to say no to her. So, we're going to start today, as she always starts, by reading what the main principles that I'm coming from, that's of the science of mind. So, principle number 1, we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. Number 4, we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. And number 8, we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon us. So, here we go. This year, it's hard for me to do this. I can't read and I can't see with it. So I did pretty big print, so I think I'll try it. So this year we've been talking about letting it go. That's been the theme, letting go of the ish, and therefore bringing joy into our lives. And the theme, Reverend T told me, for the month of July is now is new. So for me, when I thought about that new, it's becoming aware of what we're thinking, what is in our consciousness, as well as what is in our subconscious, being totally present to the presence in the now are all necessary requirements to create and manifest our good, being present. If we want to experience something new in our life, if we want to make changes in our life, being conscious and aware of our thoughts is essential. And so when I think about that question, what type of thoughts are we having? Because our minds are always thinking. What are those thoughts? Are they new thoughts? Are they the same old thoughts? Are you even aware of what you are thinking? Our minds seem sometimes to have a mind of its own. And Science of Mind and other New Thought teachings clearly state that our thoughts are creative and that what we are thinking is manifested through the subconscious. So reading from Science of Mind, book, Living the Science of Mind, which I find is the easier book to read of Ernest's, page 201, Ernest writes, "We are centers or points in a cosmic universal consciousness, which is the origin of all things. On the scale of our individual lives, we reproduce the divine order in its entirety. This does not mean that we are God, but we find in Psalm 82:6, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. The most divine nature is reproduced in us, but we're ignorant of that. Let us restate this proposition. We are thinking centers in a cosmic mind. Our lives reproduce the original life. Everything that happens to us must start with the movement of intelligence within us, which is a movement of our word or contemplation or meditation within ourselves." So, thinking in the right manner enables you to create or manifest your good. Therefore, our tagline, change your thinking, change your life. In Science of Mind teaching, it is believed that we can change our lives by changing our thinking. Right? Isn't that what we say? Okay. We can create our good. Our thoughts, what we're thinking, are extremely important. So the first challenge becomes to be aware of what we're thinking. Because we know that what we think we create, according to science of mind, that's a law of correspondence. And I should have known what you said. What we focus on grows through the law of mind. It is through our consciousness and subconscious that we create life. So just how conscious are you of your thoughts? Are you aware of what you're thinking? And I asked that question because I realized that some of you are probably saying, yeah, I know what I'm thinking. I know, I say that a lot of times. I know what I'm thinking. I know what I'm thinking. But then the words come out the mouth when you're in a certain situation. You go like, what was I thinking? How did that happen? What's going on? And it's no wonder. Scientists say the average person has over 60,000 thoughts a day. 60,000 thoughts a day. And of those 60,000 thoughts, 90% of them are repetitive. Same old, same old. You're on the word, okay? 90%. You don't remember a thing. You don't remember doing any of it, but you did it, walking. And that's what we're capable of doing. We may not even be present to the voices in our head. There'll be things going on, a whole conversation going on up there. You're not paying attention, and sometimes you are, and I'm like, will you please just give me a break? I need to focus here. Rita's famous words, focus, focus. Love that. So have you accepted, we've just accepted our voice, that voice in our head as part of our background noise, a part of our subconscious. But then that background voice could be repeated so much, it starts manifesting things in your life. So as we look at our lives, some aspect of it, it may look like the movie Groundhog Day. Has anybody seen that day? You remember that with Bill Murray? Okay, he's up there with the Groundhog Day ceremony. He's pretty disgusted about having to do a report on the Groundhog Day. It's sort of beneath him. So he goes out and he's very hostile. He meets people. He's angry. He has angry encounters with everybody, negative encounters, angry incidences with different people throughout the day. Goes back, wakes up the next morning, same day. Goes back, wakes up, goes to sleep, wakes up the next morning, same thing. It goes on and on. He keeps repeating the same day, same people, same responses. And so it continues. The exact same experiences repeated over and over and over again until he realizes that he is the one responsible for the negative experiences. That his attitude, his consciousness is creating all of this, and he realizes that he's the one that has to change. That he's the one that has to make a different response in order to get a different experience. And so he does, and life is beautiful. That's the Hollywood version of your consciousness creating your life. A little bit over the top, but it's still the truth. So I'm going to read from Eckhart Tolle, and I think it's Tolle, I'm not sure, it could be Tolle. He wrote the book, The Power of Now. In 1999, he wrote the book, The Power of Now. And he also wrote a little handbook. Gives you more detailed directions of how to enter the power of nine. Now. Might be a little nervous. Okay. And he says on page 31, to be identified with your mind is to be trapped in time. The compulsion to live almost exclusively through memory and anticipation. This creates an endless preoccupation with the past and future and an unwillingness to honor and acknowledge the present moment and allow it to be. The compulsion arises because the past gives you an identity and the future holds the promise of salvation, of fulfillment in whatever form. Both are illusions. The more you focus on time, past and future, the more you miss the now. The most precious thing there is. Why is it the most precious thing? First, because it is the only thing. It's all there is. The eternal present is the space within which your whole life unfolds. The one factor that remains constant, life is now. There will never be a time when your life was not now, nor will there ever be. Secondly, the now is the only point that can take you beyond the limited confines of the mind. It is your only point of access into the timeless and the formless realm of being. Nothing ever happened in the past, it happened in the now. Nothing will ever happen in the future, it will happen in the now. And Tolle says, we cannot create a new life. We cannot create abundance or perfect health or anything new or different if our consciousness, if our thoughts are time related. Remaining in the past or fear the future. In order to manifest something new, our thoughts must be in the present, in the now. Being in the now, totally present, allows new to unfold in your life. Regardless what happened in the past, yesterday, last week, or what may or could happen tomorrow in the future, recognize that today is a new day, and therefore you can think something new. Speak our prayers and statements in the present. The realization part of our treatment, of Science of Mind treatment, is to be said in the present. Not the future, not the past, it's happening now. And the only way we can bring it into our lives is to, as we say, claim it now. Okay? Be aware that you're creating our life from now, creating new ideas and visions, or we are creating our life from old thoughts and ideas, ones we no longer find useful, or are we creating our lives from a fear of the future, those negative thoughts, or wondering why something keeps happening. Things may appear to be different, but in reality and in truth, it's the same old stuff. Same theme, different worries, different paths. They're great. So it takes me, when I read this, it takes me to, as Sandra said, I worked in a lab, neuroscience lab, as a matter of fact. So I was working with chemicals, or we were trying to create things for the brain. And I was particularly in the neuroscience, so we were working on depression and different things like that. But in that process, my lab mate, I remember her saying very clearly, "Oh, we're just biochemistry, it's just biochemistry." And I said to her, "But you can control that biochemistry." And we can. That's what it's all about. Where our subconscious is, where our conscious, are we aware of our conscious, our subconscious? I also remember to give an example of what happened with the movie. I guess it was, we got bought out by someone. So our bosses were changing, we were getting new bosses, and I wasn't able to work with the people that I had been working with for years. So I was in this new space, and I remember, and this new people were coming in, and this young lady was sitting, her lab desk was in front of me. And every morning she came in singing. And I would go like, what is she singing about? And I was like, no, I can't deal with this. Next morning she'd come in singing. I mean, cheerful as all get out. And I'm like, really? I'm just not feeling that. And so one day, I don't know, maybe it was a week, maybe it's 2 weeks. I hope it was that short, but it could have been a month. She comes in, and I say to myself, she's happy. You're not. So what's the problem? The problem is you, me. I realized, why am I upset? Because I'm miserable, so I think everybody should be miserable around me. Is that what it was? So that was a real interesting aha for me. And I laughed at it because it was just really interesting that I allowed my attitude so that I didn't think she had the right to be happy. I never said anything to her, but in thinking it just made me more miserable, actually. I was more upset because I didn't understand why did she have to sing? Who sings at work anyway? that was my aha for that experience. Okay, now in 2012, Dr. Joe Dispenza released the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And Dr. Joe, as he likes to call himself, he's Joe Dispenza, explains that manifesting using quantum physics and science of mind. But actually, I've come to the conclusion quantum physics is science of mind. The old scientific idea of life, the Newtonian physics model, the atom makes up everything. And it's orbiting, and it's solid, and it's making, you have this picture, I don't know if any of you might be younger, you've got the newer version. But those of us that grew up when I was around, they put that little picture of the atom with the little spikes there, and you got the atom in this roll, okay? All right. The atom makes up everything. It's like a miniature solar system. Was considered the building block of all matter. In the quantum physics model, what they have found out after the scientists have found out, in reality, the atom is 99.99999 on infinity energy. Essentially, it's nothing but energy. That's all it is, the atom. So everything is really made up of energies. And I say this because this is science. It's like science is starting to meet this, all right? Dispenza speaks to the importance of your thoughts being in alignment with your feet. You can't feel poor and expect abundance because your thoughts are actually energy and your feelings are actually energy. They don't go together. You can't feel poor and expect abundance. We're sending mixed signals into what scientists call the quantum field, where everything exists. And when I read this, the more I read this, I think everything, the quantum field, that's God. Everything, every possibility exists in some, actually it's not in any form, it's energy. And until it is observed, it is only then that it becomes something. Get that? That's really important. That's really important. Because science of mind, Ernest has stated the same thing. I am just so amazed that this man talks about, actually is talking quantum physics in 1926 from a totally spiritual point of view. But it is the same stuff. When I spent a week with Joe Dispenza, and I said it was like being in a meditation boot camp and listening to Science of Mind, because all we did all day was meditate, and when we weren't meditating, he was explaining quantum physics and explaining it in a way that I was just hearing Ernie. Every time he said something, I hear a quote that we know, because it's the same stuff. In order to manifest, he said, he refers to as changing an event in the future. That's the way he talks about it. We must change things within ourselves. We have to change our energy, because our thoughts and feelings are energy. And we have to do that before we can actually experience the physical evidence. He refers to it as losing track of time, and he often said, become nobody, nowhere, and no time. So a part of that, too, I want you to feel about the quantum field. The whole idea is if the atom is just energy, which everything is made up of, you're made up of atoms, everything's made up, until it is, atoms change, and until it is actually seen or recognized or whatever, it then turns into a wave. Energy are waves. Everything's in order to become visible or possible or credible that you would experience, it has to become a particle, and that's what we are, a mass. But at the smallest point, we're made of atoms, which is nothing, just energy. Get this. So I always say Deborah, when she did the meditation. I was like, there are no accidents. What was she talking about? Energy. So I want you to really get this, because we're always under this illusion, because we see ourselves as solid, as, you know, and I feel solid, but in truth, we're not. We're 70%. Not only are all the atoms are 99% nothing, that nothing is 70% water in us. And as I say in every class, technically I should be like flowing out this, you know, movie, but I'm not, because I guess somehow in this world, on this planet, we've been able to create this vision that I'm solid, you're solid, and everything in this room is solid, okay? In Greg Braden's book, he talks of spontaneous healing of belief. He says what we experience of feelings and beliefs are actually our bodies converting those experiences into electrical and magnetic waves. When the electrical or magnetic field of an atom changes, it alters the way the atom behaves, as well as the way it expresses itself as matter. So, what he's saying, that our thoughts give off energy, as Deborah was saying. They give off a certain amount of energy, or they create a magnetic field, and that's the way the atom changes. And when that happens, the atom can, as they use expression scientific, it collapses and becomes a particle. Now, in this thing, and I don't, if I said this quantum theory, it says that everything is in this place, the quantum field. And I know if there's any scientists listening to it, they're going like, what? Okay. But I'm breaking it down as best I can. But I know this is the quantum field where everything exists. So we're in a position of having this energy, of being able to send energy, of being able to be aware of the energy of people. And when we do that, when we say our prayers or when we say our treatments with the energy of the truth, with the energy of knowing without a shadow of a doubt that this is happening now, when we say that in the quantum field, that can appear for us. Because in fact, there are not chairs or automobiles or houses in this thing. It's just energy. That's all it is. And we have the privilege as humans, I'll say on this playground that we're in, it can be a playground, to be able to manifest this energy into things, into stuff. Braden says, when the electrical or magnetic field of an atom changes, it alters the way the atom behaves and the way it expresses itself as matter, which is what I said. So we're sending out energy for whatever positive, hopefully we're going to say we're sending out energy for positive things. That is how we create that what comes into our life. Because in fact, everything and anything possible is in this quantum field. And we are connected to it because it is energy and we are energy. So that's like first grade explanation of going into that. So put another way, our feelings and beliefs are creative as energy interacting in the quantum field. And as I said, in this quantum field, infinite possibilities exist. So not past possibilities, not things in the past, not things in the future. It's just there for you to be in the present and call it into your life by claiming it. Infinite possibilities. It's like, takes me to what happened when I was living, I was living in another place, can't think of the name of the town, Lansdale. And the company, when it sold out, the new company, well, actually our company moved to New Jersey, okay? So our bosses were all like, we want you to go to New Jersey. And I'm like, I can't move to New Jersey. My mother-in-law takes care of my baby. There's no way I'm moving to New Jersey and not having a babysitter. And my boss says, write them a letter and tell them. that you can't move. I did. You know what? They moved me 6 miles to my mother-in-law. Not 50 miles in New Jersey. They moved me 6 miles to my mother-in-law's home. They packed up my bags. They did everything. Oh, I forgot to tell you the really important part. When my son, so this happened, okay, my son's about 4 years old. My mother-in-law took care of him. And he says to me, "Mom, can we go live where my mom lives?" And I said, "Yes. I don't know how, and I don't know when, but we're going to move there." 2 years later, the company moved to Jersey. The guy says, "We want you, write a letter." And I got it. I didn't, you know, it's just like, and I just said it and let it go. It's the best way. Put it out in the universe and release it. Believe it. And when I told him that, I believed it. And I really did not know how. But I said, we're going to live in Ambler one day. So it really works. And that's why I say this stuff really works. Braden reports that scientific studies have shown that the electrical strength of the heart signal is 60 times great as the signal from the brain. He uses a meditation called the brain-heart cohesion meditation. So if you ever look that up, because his theory and his idea is to create in the mind, but you got to bring it down to the heart, because that's where we really manifest, from the heart. So that's the combination, the brain-heart combination. So I'm going to read just a bit from him where he explains that in a way. When we form heart-centered beliefs within our body, now I want to start this just so you can hear this part. Studies by the Institute of Heart Math have shown that the electrical strength of the heart signal is up to 60 times as great as the electrical signal from the human brain, while the heart's magnetic field is as much as 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain. When we form heart-centered beliefs in our bodies in the language of physics, we're creating the electrical and magnetic expression of them as waves of energy, which aren't confined to our hearts or limited by the physical barrier of our skin and bones. So clearly we are speaking to the world around us in each moment of every day through a language that has no words, the belief waves of hearts. And that takes me to the whole idea of us feeling it. Oops, sorry. When in this teaching, when we're talking about peace, we have to feel it. We just can't say it. When we're talking about loving people, we got to feel it. Get to that place where you can feel it, where you can get outside of yourself. So you can get in the face of a total stranger or someone that may have wronged you, that you can look at and say, I love you. I love you. Because it's not, when people do things to you, it's not about you. They're the ones with the issue. So it's easier and better for you, your mental health as well as your physical health, to bless them. Sometimes you might say, I need to stay out of their area, their environment, but still don't carry negativity out of that situation, because that negativity only hurts you. And they're still going to be who they are. So brain-heart meditation is really important. Brain-heart cohesion, and look them up, because it's interesting to experience that type of meditation, to bring the thought and then bring it down into your heart. So I am going to close with a reading from Roger Teal. Roger Teal is a senior minister, or retired senior minister, at one of our largest churches, or centers in Centers for Spiritual Living in Denver. He calls it This Life is Joy. And I've been reading this, and it's really, really good. And I want to read a bit of this. It'll be a page. This brings us to the extraordinary openings in greater life mastery. Since we are conscious beings and can work creatively with our awareness and our thought, we have the capacity not only to interact at the gross level of the physical world, but also to access and create within the metaphysical world. Here's why this is so powerful. This wisdom gives us the wherewithal to shift from the limitations of reaction to the expansion of creation. We are initiated into inner realms of ever-expanding vision and creative intention. We are empowered to open to higher inspiration and to seed our insights into a creative process that is limitless and all-powerful. Believe this. Embracing this spiritual worldview of reality also deepens and vitalizes the experience of our higher identity and our higher role in the world. Ernest Holmes hints of the possibilities. There is a greater mind within each which may be called upon. There is nothing too small or too great for this mind. Listen, be receptive, believe absolutely, be convinced. The one with a great purpose in life is always consciously or unconsciously holding this purpose up to the universal influx, thus causing an outpouring of divine wisdom through his or her own individual mind. The infinite wisdom becomes human knowledge in such degree as a human furnishes a channel through which it may flow. So I say all this to say what I know and what I feel in my life and why I feel so connected to the science of mind, because science of mind is science. It's literally science and spirituality. And the fact that Ernest Holmes doesn't call it the field, he doesn't call it that, but he says it. He says in knowing that we can have what we desire, but we have to believe it. And we have to say it. What we say, we have to claim it. We can't just, I hope it happens one day. No, it's happening. You desire. No, I am it. I am powerful. And the mission I see for us, what came to me was Reverend Sheila's mission. We are the center of peace. We are here to help, to create peace throughout the world. We are here to honor all humans. Everyone is honored because everyone is an individualized personification of the one, of that giant field of infinite possibilities. The quantum field, I like to think, is God. Everything and all things are in this quantum field waiting to be discovered. Okay, and so, I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, I hear you. I actually tested this. I thought it wasn't short. Okay. You interrupt my flow. All right, because I really did want to say that, and I really do believe, and I really do hold the same vision Reverend Sheila had. I know that we are going to be a powerful place in Philadelphia. And the stuff that's going on, the hurt that's going on, the people hurting people, that's going to stop. We're going to be a part of that. We are going to be a part of that. And there's no accident that we are where we are. And I think Kamara said, we are in the heart of 501c places around here. There is a Covenant House 2 blocks over. Our job is here to do, here to express ourselves, peace, here to make a difference in the world. in starting in Philadelphia. Here to start Reverend Sheila's vision of peace. So, let's pray. So to give him thanks and gratitude for this day, for this opportunity simply to stand before you and to speak my truth, to speak my beliefs, and to know that that which is coming through me is the one power, the one thing we call God. That there is only one God, one life, one presence. There is only God living and breathing through each and every one of us, expressing through each and every animal, plant, whatever in this universe, in this place we call Earth. I know that God is ever present in my life and is ever present in each and one of you, and everyone within the sound of my voice is simply God in the flesh. And then all that God is perfection and joy and peace and love. And so I know as I speak these words now that God is in me, as me, and through me, and God is in and through everyone here in this place, and everyone within the sound of my voice is simply another way that God is showing up. And so I'm claiming and knowing for each and every one of us that God is who and what we are. God is love, God is joy, God is perfect peace. I claim for each and every one of us wholeness. I'm knowing that divine love flowing through each and every one of us eliminates any negativity, anything unlike God, unlike good. That everything and all things are falling away if needless, if they are not a part of who and what we need to move forward, to make our life more grand, to make our life more peace. God is who and what we are. Know this in your heart. Know this in your mind. Put this in a place that when you look out in front, when you look what's before you, you see only the face of God. You see only the face of love. You see only knowing the joy in your heart allows you simply to say yes to the world, yes to this day, yes to everyone. Knowing this, knowing that my life, our lives simply are pure expressions of God who is love. Allow ourselves to push any thoughts, needless thought, unwanted thought, thoughts that no longer serve you. Push them, eliminate them, move them out of the way, cancel them. If it pops in your head, we say cancel, cancel, and know that God is saying yes. As we say yes, God says yes. So I'm so grateful for this teaching. I'm so grateful to know that God is everywhere present. I'm so grateful to know that Reverend Sheila started the Center of Peace. I'm so grateful to know that there are 20-some practitioners that are fully and committed to being the perfection of love, God's idea of what love and joy is. I am so grateful for this day and for this opportunity to speak these words. I'm simply saying yes, 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 yes. I say yes. And I say this from a full heart and full clarity of knowing what I am saying yes to, and knowing that it is always for my highest and best, and knowing that it is always for each one of you, your highest and best. I say yes for you. I speak my word for everyone within the sound of my voice. That life is good. That God is right where you are. That there's nothing that can stop you from reaching your highest goal. There is nothing from stopping you from being the best that you can be. There is nothing that's stopping you from releasing anything and everything that no longer serves you and receiving all your good, receiving all the magnificence, the joy, the love, the peace that you came here to do, to see, to be. And as you and as we are in that place of knowing that God is right where we are, we can simply spread that and each one touch one so that everyone can know that everything is already all right. That life is simply moving, and it is always, regardless what appears to be in our front of us, it is always moving us higher and higher to our highest and our best. I give thanks for knowing this truth. I give thanks for Science of Mind. I give thanks for Ernest Holmes to have written this and to be able to know, even before anyone ever thought like this, to be able to know. And all the New Thought teachers, all the spirituals, I give thanks for them. I give thanks for them. And I simply gather all these words and gather them together, knowing that it is done, it is done, it is done. And we say together, and so it is.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. Such a beautiful garden. That garden is you.
And so it is. Thank you. Pick on my boots. Thank you. Whoops.
Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Amazing. Amazing. It occurred to me that there's a book, and if you come up to me after service, if anybody is of a scientific bent, and I'll look up the author for you, but the name of the book is The Dancing Wooly Masters. And it shows you the Dancing Wooly Masters, W-U-L-I Masters. And it shows the relationship of quantum physics and spirituality. It's a very small book, but it was the first time I ever understood quantum physics. And so that'll be a nice subsequent reading from Deborah's service message. And now I'd like to call up the folks who are collecting the offering. This is our opportunity to put into practice the law of attraction, to put aside our discomforts and our fears related to our own abundance, and know that we always have enough, and more than enough. The message was believe with your heart and know that it is already there. All that will come to us today will be put into a blessing for the Center of Peace to utilize in its mission for humanity. We are already grateful for all that has already been received. So I say thank you. It is always enough.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. Give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. Selah, 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 for all that is. Ashe, 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 for all that is. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. Namaste for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. We give praise and Ashe. Say that namaste. We give praise for all that is.
Thank you, and so it is. And now, if everyone could stand for our closing song. And is the choir going to support us this morning?
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you're discouraged, wanting just to make it another day, you have got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, and no more strife. With my faith, you're gonna see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, and no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, and no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, yes, I'm only here for God. Only here for the Holy Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes.
And as we go forth this day, And this week, let us carry with us the peace in our hearts. Let us carry with us the faith in our hearts. And let us carry with us the joy in our heart and show it to the world. And so it is.
So it is.
Ain't nobody could tell. We heard you.
Everyone, there are some spiritual books at the back. You're welcome. There are spiritual books at the back. We would like you to take them. Pick one. Whatever you pick is the one you need to read.
At least one.
So please allow yourselves
At least one.
a book.
At least one.
Snacks in the kitchen.
You always do such a magnificent job. Nice. Thanks for me. Yes, thank you. Thanks for donating your ticket to someone.
Take as many of those books as you like. Take as many as you want. Take them.
What are you wearing? It's something I recognize. That's why I'm. Tell me.
It'll come to me.
I do, but he wrote this back in 1990.
Test, test. Good afternoon, everyone. If I could just have your attention for one moment, please. Ashe. I go. Yeah, I just wanted to say that if anyone is If anyone is interested in purchasing tickets for the sound bath, Betty has tickets today. The tickets are $20. And there are two journeys, and one at 2 p.m., one at 5 p.m., and we hope to see you all there.